Hi everyone, I'm Vipin Kumar Gupta back again with another video on symmetric groups. In the last video, we had seen to make elements of a symmetric group. We had taken an equilateral triangle. I would request everyone to go in the link in the description to get access to the previous video. Let's check if the group S3 along with a particular binary operation is going to form a group structure or no. To move forward, let us just quickly recall what we had seen in the previous video. So we had S3 containing 6 elements R0, R120, R240. To just help you a little, R denotes the rotation and 0, 120 and 240, these numbers denote the angle of rotation in anti-clockwise direction. We have F1, F2 and F3 which were the reflections, 1, 2 and 3 were the vertices across which we had drawn the medians. And we know very well that order of S3 is going to be 6 since we have 6 elements over here. This was R0, R120. We have written R120 in cyclic notation. So it is nothing but a permutation 1, 2, 3. On the same lines we have R240 which is permutation 1, 3, 2. We have F1 which is permutation 2, 3, F2 which is 1, 3 and F3 which is 1, 2. For a group structure, we need a set and we also need a binary operation. So for permutations, we have the operation composition. What we are going to do is we are going to check whether S3 along with composition is going to form a group structure or no. Recall that a group is a set G with a binary operation star defined for the elements of G, where star satisfies the four conditions which we had acronymed as CAII. Again, would request you to go to the link and get access to the video. You will get a better idea about what the CAII stands for. To proceed with, let us see how can we compose two elements of S3. So I have taken an example of R120 and R240 and we will try to compose and see what is the output. To begin with, let's start with R120. So R120 is the permutation 1, 2, 3, which means that 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3 and 3 goes to 1. And on the same lines we have R240 wherein we have 1 goes to 3, 3 goes to 2 and 2 goes to 1. Now when we multiply R120 with R240, one thing you have to take into consideration is that we always start by multiplying from the right. We start with the element 1 in R240. Observe that 1 in R240 goes to 3. Now come back to 3 in R120 and observe that 3 goes to 1 in R120. We have that 1 goes to 3 goes to 1. So we can conclude that 1 goes to itself and we can put that in one bracket. Now next we pick up the element 2 in R240. Observe that in R240 2 goes to 1 and in R120 1 goes back to 2. So we have that 2 goes to 1 goes to 2. So we again start and end at 2. So we put that again in another pair of brackets. Lastly, we have 3 goes to 2 in R240 and 2 goes to 3 in R120. So that's going to be 3 goes to 2 goes to 3 and we can put that again in a single bracket. So we have that R120 composed with R240 is nothing but equal to I. Let us take another multiplication and try to see if we have perfected it or no. So we have taken R120 and composed it with F1. R120 is the cycle 1, 2, 3 and F1 is the cycle 2, 3. In F1, we don't have 1. So we begin with directly 2. Observe that 2 goes to 3 in F1 and 3 goes to 1 in R120. So we have 2 goes to 1. So that is going to be the first output which we have. Now we begin with the element where we have ended. So we have ended at 1 and since there is no 1 in F1, we know that 1 goes to 1 in F1 and 1 goes to 2 in R120. So we conclude with 1 goes to 2. Since we had started with 2 and we have reached back to 2, so we'll close the bracket and of course the last element is going to be 3 which we can avoid writing. So here we have that this is going to be equal to F3. On the same lines you can try many more pairs. So we have taken R120 composed with F2, that is giving us F1. We have R120 composed with F3, that is going to give us F2. Coming to the major part of this, so a composition table. Let me just tell you that the composition table is a lot of help for finite groups. For the composition table, you need to have a matrix arrangement wherein the rows and columns are nothing but the elements of your group. So in this case, we have 6 rows and 6 columns. What we are going to do is we'll pick an element from the left and an element on the row header. So for example, we have R0 and R0. So we'll pick up that and we'll try to multiply them and we'll get back that as R0. You can try the multiplication as discussed previously. And on the same lines we have R0 composed with R120 giving R120 and then we have R240, then F1, F2, F3. These multiplications will help you to practice a lot. I have skipped the calculation part to save our time. So this is the entire composition table of S3. we are trying to figure out whether S3 along with composition is going to form a group or no. So the first property was C, the second was A, the third was I, and the fourth again was I. C stands for closures. By closure, what do we mean? If you pick any two elements of S3 and we compose them, then whatever is the output, it again comes back in S3. So over here you can see that there are 36 entries which we are getting after multiplication, and these 36 entries all belong back to S3. There are no element from outside. So we can conclude that S3 is going to be closed. For associativity, we'll put that on hold, and I would like you to try for associativity. Let us move on to the next one, that is identity. Precisely, existence of identity. Observe the first row, observe the R0 row. So if we begin multiplying with R0 to first column R0, so we have R0, then R0 multiplied by R120 is R120, R0 multiplied with R240 is R240, R0 with F1 is F1, R0 with F2 is F2, and R0 with F3 is F3. The same thing can be observed in the first column, wherein we are multiplying each first element of the row headers with R0. Thus what can be concluded from here is that if you multiply by R0, the value is not going to change. Thus R0 can be treated as the identity element. So our third condition, existence of identity, holds here. Now moving on to the last one, that is existence of inverses. So what we will try to do is observe in each row and each column there is an R0 present. We are just going to try and match to figure out the inverse element. So for the first one, so R0 times R0 is R0. So we can say that R0 is inverse of itself. Moving on to the next row, R120, we have an R0 under R240. So we can say that R240 is the inverse of R120, and we can rewrite that as R120 raised to negative 1 is equal to R240. On the same lines, for R240, we have R120 to be the inverse. For F1, we have F1 to be the inverse. For F2, we have F2 to be the inverse, and the same for F3, it is inverse of itself. So coming back on the final conclusion, we have observed from the composition table that S3 along with binary operation of composition is closed. Then associativity, as I have told you that you guys should try by yourself. We have R0 to be the identity element, and every element as having an inverse in S3. Thus we can say that S3 along with composition is going to form a group structure, and it has order 6. The next question, whether this group is abelian. So just recall what is abelian. A group is said to be abelian if for any pair of elements A and B in G, A star B is same as B star A. Let us go back to the composition table of S3. Observe that the 6 by 6 matrix which we have got is not a symmetric matrix type. One thing which could be easily observed is that S3 is not going to form an abelian group, but we need counter examples to make this claim. So let us take R120 and try to multiply it with F1. So what we get is F3. Then next what we will try to do is we will reverse the order. We will take F1 and try to multiply it with 120. So this is what you are having. F1 multiplied with R120 is F2. What can be observed is that the product of these two elements is not same when the order of the elements are reversed. So we have that R120 composed with F1 is not equal to F1 composed with R120. So we can of course clearly say that S3 with composition is a non-abelian group. That's all for now. Thank you very much.